By the way, about Tucker Lutz coming in at plus 175 against Melsik Baghdasaryan, coming in at minus 175. Over under 2.5 rounds, minus 125 for the over, plus 125 for the under. Tucker Lutz coming off the loss to Daniel Pineda, which he was the biggest favorite on the card, UFC San Antonio, and he got submitted in the second round. Melsik Baghdasaryan, same deal. I mean, not a big favorite, but he got submitted in the second round against Josh Kulabau. He just kind of got caught and gave up his back and threw the arm under, and he was out of there. In this one, he's kind of a big favorite. I mean, I'm looking at Tucker Lutz, like he's not done anything too impressive in the UFC, but he's been fairly respected by the books. I mean, minus 125 against Pat Sabatini. That's pretty solid of a price, like think about what he's been against other guys. His win against Kevin Aguilar, he was minus 130 and minus 250 favorite against Daniel Pineda. He's coming in this one as an underdog. I mean, I think he's going to be outmatched on the feet, but we just saw Baghdasaryan get submitted. So it's like, I don't know if I could get behind that price in Baghdasaryan. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it does make it interesting because you look at, Tucker Lutz being a decent sized underdog. And all it took was like 10 seconds for Kulabau to get, on the back of Melsik Baghdasaryan and put him away. And Tucker Lutz has that game plan where he can grapple guys and he can wrestle and get people down. So it makes you wonder. But if he can't get a takedown, I think Melsik could pick him apart on the feet. Like Melsik Baghdasaryan on the feet with the kickboxing is super high level and, some of the best in the division. If we're talking from a pure kickboxing standpoint, Melsik has that full package, but it is that slither of doubt that, what if he slips again and Tucker Lutz jumps on the back? Like could be all she wrote because Tucker Lutz is a strong dude. It's hard to get up from a guy like Tucker Lutz. Yeah, he lost to Daniel Pineda, but we saw Pineda in his last fight show an incredible, toughness and ability to give shots and showed that he's still a talented fighter at almost 40 years old. So, yeah, man, I think people are writing Tucker Lutz off here. I think Melsik, could find a knockout on the feet, but I think Tucker Lutz is going to be a little wise to it. And I think he's going to try to implement that game plan of, get into the clinch, get him up against the cage, slow down some of that striking, and just make it ugly. And if he does that, I think we're going to see a close fight. And how do you not pick a decent underdog in a fight you think could get kind of close? So I'm going to go Tucker Lutz here. I think he can get it done.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean the dog's way as far as the price goes, just because it's in a smaller cage. Tucker Lutz probably gonna want to close the distance and just use his strength against Melsik. Melsik's fun to watch with all the kicks. I mean, he throws a lot at you. He trains at King's MMA with Benil Dariush, so I mean, he's got a really good kickboxing background. And he could catch Tucker Lutz, but Tucker Lutz, I just don't see him being dumb enough to like sit at range with Melsik and play that kind of fight. I think he should be able to implement his game plan if that is his game plan, to close the distance and smother him up against the cage, look for some takedowns, and just use his strength and just don't be dumb. Like just don't be dumb and close the distance. So yeah, for the sake of the show, I'll ride it with you, Tucker Lutz, because I saw Melsik at like minus 220 probably like a day or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like some money's coming back on Tucker Lutz. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty chalky just considering what we just saw, him get submitted in a flash second. So, yeah, I'll go with Tucker Lutz for the sake of the show.